Hello there, many thanks for joining us on Inside Lagos. I'm Adedoja Salam Adeniyi. You're welcome to the show. Today, we'll be looking at the Lagos State Ministry of Justice in 2 years of Governor Akinwunmi administration. Also, we'll be looking at death penalty for kidnappers in Lagos State.
Lagos is a prosperous city. Its prosperity attracts 22 million residents. Some are indigenous, while others settle here in search of a better life. Today, Lagos has become arguably the most populated city in Nigeria. As much as this population works to its advantage in the area of internally generated revenue, it is also its greatest challenge. Securing the ever-growing population is an arduous task. Between 2015 and 2016, Governor Akinwunmi donated equipment worth billions of naira to security agencies in Lagos State.
These vehicles and equipment will enable the command to effectively cover every part of the state and respond to distress calls faster.
Despite these provisions, sometimes criminals still manage to have their way. But it does not take so long before they are apprehended and prosecuted.
The Lagos State government is extremely pleased to announce that the 3 students of Babington Macaulay Junior Seminary School in Ikorodu, who were abducted by gunmen on Monday, 29 February 2016, were rescued by security operatives in the early hours of today, Sunday, 6 March 2016.
Beyond the story of crime, Lagos State is threatened by the unlawful behavior of some of its residents. This behavior most times is responsible for the notorious traffic jams so easily identified with the state. The state gets flooded when it rains because some residents block drainage channels and dispose of their waste indiscriminately. Some vandalize public facilities, and the list goes on. The state government is stuck between rendering more social services and maintaining law and order. This is where the Lagos State Ministry of Justice comes in, and Adeniji Kazeem is the man at the helm.
My job is very complex and very challenging.
The ministry ensures that both the people and the government are constantly on the right side of the law and that their interests are well protected.
Without any law, nothing works. Definitely, if there's no law, we all got to be in the zoo.
The ministry works with the Lagos State House of Assembly, the judiciary, the police, the prison services, and other security operatives work to ensure that the state remains peaceful. Under Governor Akinwunmi, this ministry has recorded a significant improvement. One of its landmark achievements is the publication of the laws of Lagos State, including amendments and additions on its interactive website on December the 8th, 2015. This is to promote public access to laws of the state and strengthen the rule of law.
His Excellency Governor Akinwunmi pointed out something and said, look, Mr. Attorney General, you need to make sure that these laws are put online to give wider access. So we immediately swung into action, and working very closely with the Law Reform Commission, we achieved that feat.
To facilitate prompt and immediate trial of traffic and environmental offenders in Lagos State, the ministry introduced special offences mobile courts. It was inaugurated by the state government on February the 5th, 2016. Since its inception, the court has successfully prosecuted 1,107 offenders.
I think that has been quite effective and has reduced the level of lawlessness out there. It has helped our law enforcement agencies considerably in enforcement. I must say that, it's not as if we don't have laws out there. There are laws, but it's an enforcement issue. The mobile courts have been quite successful, and let me say even very successful in creating law and order.
To defeat crime to a standstill, the Ministry of Justice midwifed the establishment of the Lagos State DNA Forensic Center. On May the 3rd, 2016, the Lagos State government signed an agreement to give life to the project. Today, the world looks forward to Lagos State as it blazes the trail in crime fighting. No state in Nigeria has ever had anything like this. The ministry also earned accolades for protecting the rights of the poor and vulnerable groups in the state. In 2015 alone, the Office of Public Defender, a unit in the Ministry of Justice, handled more than 5,322 matters on behalf of poor Lagosians at no cost. By the second quarter of 2016, it handled no fewer than 2,467 cases in various courts.
If you felt that you've been wronged, how do you, when you cry out for justice, is it going to take forever? Are you going to get that feeling that, look, the state cares and the state goes after people that have caused wrong to you? That's what we want to do.
In less than 2 years of Governor Akinwunmi's administration, the ministry's Citizens Mediation Center has reviewed 36,105 cases. 21,941 have been mediated and 20,994 have been totally resolved.
The Office of the Public Defender, the Citizens Mediation Center, these are spread all over the state. Silently, they've been doing their work, giving free legal services to people, solving problems. This is what makes us tick. This is what makes us work.
The ministry has also taken giant steps in the fight against domestic violence. In just 1 year, the ministry attended to more than 250 cases, including attempted rape, child abuse, and defilements. To preempt these cases, the ministry inaugurated the sexual assault evidence collection kits and deployed them to primary health care centers in the state. It took its campaign to university campuses and trained more than 6,000 students on sexual harassment and rape prevention. To protect the interests of Lagosians, the Lagos State Ministry of Justice partnered with the other government agencies to make the law making land grabbing an offense in Lagos State.
From statistics, there have been a significant amount of people who have come forward to complain about issues about land grabbers.
Governor Akinwunmi signed the bill into law on August the 16th, 2016.
This law marks the end of the road for such land grabbers.
Section 52 and 53 prescribes a jail term of 2 years for any person who forcibly enters or takes possession of land in a manner likely to cause a breach of the peace against a person entitled by law to the possession of the land. Henceforth, the state government will be fully enforcing provisions of these sections. The task force will receive petitions through the Office of the Attorney General, Ministry of Justice, and they can be reached on the following numbers: 0909 666 7123 and 0902 008 5005.
Still on the real estate sector, the Office of the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice has made the issuance of certificates of occupancy and governor's consent much easier than ever before.
I think Lagos State is above every other state in the nation now in terms of the laws they are enacting. There is much more sanity. You want to talk about driving on the road with last mile and all the guiding laws that people need to adhere to. You want to talk about street trading. You want to talk about crossing of the road. So you can see that Lagos State is coming up with several laws and is bringing sanity into the state in general, especially Lagos as a commercial city.
These laws are working. It sends a check of people's nerves, people's mind to do the things right.
On 30th of January 2017, Lagos State government opened a 2-day summit on administration of justice. The event brought together stakeholders in the justice system to discuss and profile solutions to improve the sector. The summit, organized by the Ministry of Justice, is with the theme Contemporary Trends, Catalyst for Justice Sector Reform in Lagos State.
You're welcome, sir.
It is an august gathering of the justice community looking at catalyst for justice sector reform in the state.
For this event, 25 notable speakers were drawn from within and outside the country to exchange ideas and profile a way forward in the justice administration in Nigeria.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, represented by the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, railed out the bottlenecks that caused unnecessary delay in the justice system, which must be removed.
The problem of delay in our justice system is mostly self-inflicted. They found that judges in both locations did not sit 33% of the occasions they were meant to do so. The main reasons for the absence of these judges from their courts, mostly official trips, conferences, and meetings. Most judges in both locations started their days almost an hour late and sat on average for 3 hours and 11 minutes before rising for the day. Poor forensic infrastructure, poorly trained police personnel, corruption, and lack of public confidence in the police. It is for these reasons that several high-profile cases remain unsolved and many perpetrators of crimes have not been apprehended. The message I would therefore like to communicate in this address is that we must begin to take the issue of delay in administration of justice more seriously.
Your Excellency.
As part of the discussions at this summit, Governor Akinwunmi wants the gathering to deliberate on how to make Lagos State's legal and judicial system an effective tool for realization of foreign investment.
One of our top priorities is to leave behind a legacy of a 21st century justice sector driven by digital technology and powered by digital literate judicial officers and legal service providers. A justice system where all justice institutions in Lagos State are fully automated. Lagos must be a jurisdiction where business disputes can be robustly resolved in a pragmatic manner. Some of the major challenges faced by investors and entrepreneurs include the ease and cost of doing business and over-regulation of business processes. This summit should provide solutions to this.
Speaking at the event, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adeniji Kazeem, says he looks forward to the judiciary helping in the fight against corruption, among others.
There must be new progressive steps to meet contemporary needs. Otherwise, our laws and justice system will become insensitive to the needs of our people and irrelevant as an instrument of order and social engineering. In essence, reforms of the justice sector should be seen as a culture that is continuous and has no end point, but has the goal of creating and sustaining a legal environment that is conducive for human, infrastructural, and economic development. We are building on the foundation laid by His Excellency, the Vice President, and my other illustrious predecessors to establish a more inclusive justice system that is user-friendly with a firm focus on meeting the contemporary justice needs of the residents and investors in Lagos State. We are looking forward to the role of forensics and DNA in the administration of justice and performance indicators for criminal justice sector. We also look forward to have a critical appraisal of the recent civil litigation reforms, the administration of criminal system, the effectiveness of our current court administration, and ADR mechanisms.
Other legal luminaries spoke at the gathering.
I'm therefore optimistic that the outcome of this summit would be of tremendous benefit to not just Lagos State, but our national justice delivery system.
In this era of change, our collective goal is to improve access to justice, make Lagos State a hub for justice delivery in the sub-region and Africa in general.
On the second day of the summit, the Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice says Lagos will no longer operate the analog judicial system. This is one of the outcomes of the stakeholders summit.
There's clearly some room for improvement. We're going to look at that in terms of the infrastructure and the manpower, the capacity of the people to be able to deliver the system. We can no longer operate a system where the courts are analog. And under the leadership of the present CJ, Honorable Justice Funmilayo Atilade, we've already seen that, and I'm sure that she has listened to a lot of the things that have been said here, and she will implement them where necessary.
This stakeholder summit on administration of justice represents another milestone in the justice sector of Lagos State. Lagos State, to say the least, is broadening its spheres of influence. Its signature of excellence remains bold on the sands of time.
It has shown clearly in 2 years that it has what it takes. In 2 years is just half time. We still have another half to run and to play. And you just wait. We're going to score more goals.
Kidnappers now face death sentence in Lagos State. Last Wednesday, Governor Akinwunmi signed a bill aimed at checking the spate of kidnapping in the state into law. The law prescribed stiff penalties, including death sentence and life imprisonment for offenders.
This signature will take the lives of kidnappers whose victims die in their custody, and life sentence is prescribed for kidnappers whose victims do not die in their arms.
In recent times, kidnapping has become a major threat to the safety of citizens and therefore required decisive action by the government. This law imposes a penalty of life imprisonment for kidnapping for ransom. The law stipulates that where a victim dies in the course of a kidnap, the suspect is liable on conviction to death. Security is of utmost importance to our administration, and we're confident that this law will serve as a deterrent to anybody who may desire to engage in this wicked act within the boundaries of Lagos State.
The law states that any person who kidnaps, abducts, detains, captures, or takes another person by any means or trick with intent to demand ransom or do anything against his or her will commits an offense. Any person who knowingly or willfully allows or permits his premises, building, or a place or belonging to which he has control of to be used for the purpose of keeping a person kidnapped would also not go scot-free.
Our justice system will be required to execute this law to the letter and make sure that any criminal caught faces the full wrath of the law. While we use this law to address the challenge of kidnapping and punish the criminals, we're also putting in place appropriate measures, particularly in our schools and other vulnerable targets, to prevent security breaches.
Lagos State has recorded many cases of kidnapping lately with students, traditional rulers among victims. Hence, the need to take the issue of kidnapping seriously in the state. The governor also signed into law the Lagos State Sports Commission Bill and the Lagos State Sports Trust Fund Bill. The governor says the Sports Commission law would give legal backing to the formulation and implementation of sports policies in the state, while the Sports Trust Fund would enable government to raise money for the development of sporting facilities and activities.
We took this law to the streets, and sure, Lagosians reacted.
The issue of kidnapping in Nigeria is becoming a terrible situation. Imagine taking somebody into a place, and eventually some of the kidnappers, they were so terrible, and the people they kidnap will die. And at the same time, they will collect money. After telling the family that the person is dead, they will ask you to come and look at your person. Before getting there, this is why the person is dead. So I think to cover this issue of kidnapping of a thing in Nigeria or even in our environment is a welcome development. I think I support it, at least to the BRS minimum. It shouldn't be held in our environment. This is a civilized world. Why will you kidnap somebody because of money? Can't you work and get your money from somewhere? Must you kidnap before you get money? And if we encourage such a thing, don't be surprised a day they can kidnap anybody. So I think I give kudos to Amobode for doing such a wonderful thing. It's a very welcome development. I think I love it. I love it.
My own opinion on this whole thing is, with whatever thing that the government, whatever measures the government just has to take in order to curb this high rate of insecurity in the economy, I think I'm quite in support of it.
To a certain degree. You know, this is Nigeria, this is Lagos. You know, but what I appreciate about this is that let's look at the consequence of people that have been kidnapped. Some that cannot pay ransom, they were being killed, and those families cried. So, and if they sentence them to life imprisonment, you know, these guys have hope that even they can see operate from the prison. But when they kill them, anyone that they are luring into kidnapping, you will know that once I'm caught, I'm going to be killed. So, because of fear of life, some may decide not to go into it. But when you say they are going to prison, we have had a case of people who operate from the prison while they're there. So I actually agree with that.
Anybody will kidnap now, and the person where they kidnap, he die for their domots. They go come kill that person back. But if the person no die for their domots, they catch him now life imprisonment. So is that, what do you feel about that?
And that one is okay. That one is okay.
Ẹni tó bá jiyàn gbé, tó yàn kú sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ kan pọ̀ òun náà ni. Ẹni tó jiyàn gbé ẹ̀ gan, tí èèyàn kú sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ gan, èrò ọkàn ò dáa. Kí ló jiyàn gbé fún? Kò yẹ kó jiyàn gbé. Kò dáa, ẹlẹ́mìí ẹgbẹ́ kò dáa.
So kí lẹ rí sí nǹkan tí gómìnà ṣe?
Ó dáa náà. Ohun tí gómìnà ṣe yẹn ó dáa, ó bójúmu gan. Á jẹ́ kó rọlẹ̀ lára wọn. Nígbà tí wọ́n bá ń pa àwọn náà, á rọlẹ̀ lára wọn.
That idea is very good, man. It will make them know that security needs to be done in their place. Even some landlords now, some people do bring people inside their house, in my compound, and they do bring strange faces. So like, who are these people? If anything happen, now you, and the landlord is like, no, now me then go home, you understand? So we want the government should really put eye on those kidnappers. It's happening everywhere in Lagos, most especially Akinwunmi and here in Ikeja. Things are happening, gangster. Even the broad daylight like this, they may stop you around here and tell you, come, chairman wants to see you. And when you go to the chairman, he beats you up and collect your phone. One happened to me yesterday here in Along.
Life is involved in this matter. People kidnap, their life is at stake, and as such, it's a very bad one. For them to kidnap a fellow human being like them, like themselves. So for governments like Lagos State government, who have taken a right decision to say it's death sentence, I think it's a good one. And it's a caution to everybody to be very careful. Time is hard.
And even anybody that they use his house for kidnapping, or they use his car or his belonging, that person too will face the music.
Of course, it's okay. For me, I don't think there's anything bad about it, except that there is some people that might be implicated in the process that may not be involved. You have to be security conscious. Anybody coming to us have to be very, very careful to know the kind of person, you know. So that's my view.
Death penalty is there for kidnappers whose victims died in their custody. And that has been a package for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ade Dodger. Salam Adeniyi. See you next time.